All right, I hope we don't start an internet war on this one today, boy, because today we have a little bit of a controversial take when it comes to Baldur's Gate 3 or BG3, as I'm going to refer to it as for the rest of this video because it's just easier to say. And anyway, today we are going to be talking about what we think Baldur's Gate characters or BG3 characters would be if they were real life movie characters. So we're going to get into it. And before we get there, my name is Helena.
I'm James.
And we are the Pixel Pagans. We bring video game unique perspectives to video games from a newbie or a noob standpoint and a veteran standpoint. So let's jump into the video now. So are you curious if your favorite character or your favorite companion has made the list, or perhaps even your favorite villain?
And wait until you see who Shadowheart is. Probably not who you think, but I encourage you to write in the comments below on your best guess. And we're definitely curious to see what you're thinking.
This is post-editing Helena here, and I did forget to add one crucial, very important detail in here, and that was, don't worry, we are not going to be mentioning Jar Jar Binks in anything. Or are we?
So number one, we're gonna start with, of course, the internet's favorite drool-worthy vampire. I mean, Twilight is long gone. So we're gonna start with Astarion as to who we think he kind of reminds us of. And to us, Astarion is funny, he's charming, he's conniving, he's this little sneaky snake. And yeah, and he has this interesting background. He's kind of this plagued villain almost, or like villain trying to repent his sins type of guy. So based on this, who did you think you would say Astarion reminds you of?
So for me, he's got the bravado of Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders, but he's also got the arrogance of Captain Kirk from Star Trek. You know, there's a bit of the goofiness in there and whatnot. It reminded me a lot of Steve Harrington from Stranger Things.
Oh, good old Steve. I can't wait for him to be back soon. I love Steve. But see, I'm going to go vamp for vamp for sure. And I am going to choose Bill Compton from True Blood or the Sookie Stackhouse series. If you actually read books, that's from Charlene Harris. I'm going to go Bill Compton because Bill Compton is totally that charming gentleman type of guy who has a really jaded, shady past. He's trying to do better now, and he really doesn't kind of show who he really is until much later on, very much like Astarion. So I don't know. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you definitely have a point then for sure. Yeah. So I think a check goes to you on that one. All right, I'll give you.
All right, fine. I win that one.
Okay, I'll give you that one for sure. All right. But now let's move on to Auntie Ethel. To me, she's like a true villain, right? Mm-hmm. You know, she's sneaky, conniving, manipulative. She enjoys seeing others suffer. You know, it's never I'm just helping you out, but it'll turn into something evil down the road. It's always something to her benefit. She's the true evil one in this. I think so.
I agree with you 110% there. I really truly think that she's one of the worst villains in the storyline, which has so many plot twists as well. So who did you choose in this case?
Well, for me, I think she reminds me of Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, right? Yes.
Smart, deceiving, manipulative, always has his own gains at heart. To me, hands down, Ethel is Hannibal Lecter.
Ooh, that one's a really good one and kind of hard to top because I thought about this one, and the only one that I really could think of, and I guess it's kind of probably because of my persona of who I am, and that was Ursula the Witch. I love The Little Mermaid, all renditions of it, doesn't matter. It's hands down one of my favorite movies of all times. I even acted in the high school play on it. I absolutely love The Little Mermaid. And she totally embodies Ursula the Witch. They're both witches, kind of, again, witch for witch, hag for hag. Same type of idea, manipulative, cunning, out to get anything that she wants to get. Yeah, so I would say Ursula, but you said Hannibal Lecter. I was like, no, there's absolutely no way I could trump over Hannibal Lecter with Ursula. There's absolutely no way. So I'm going to give you that one. Check for you.
Okay, so next, let's move on to Lae'zel. For me, I see her as this, she's a fighter, She's super disciplined, super focused, is just about her quest, her main mission. That nothing else gets in the way. She's all business all the time, doesn't have time for any chit chat or idleness. Super focused. So, what did you think? What character do you think she brings?
Okay, so this one was hard for me because there's so many. I wanted to stick with a strong female character on this one. So I went with kind of two. Xena, Warrior Princess, which some of our younger Gen Zs, Alphas probably wouldn't know. Even younger millennials may not even know who Xena is. But Xena is all about the mission, making sure she's doing right for others, like leading, etc. But then there was also Eowyn from Lord of the Rings. And yeah, she's such a strong fighting character as well. But if it came down to it, tit for tat, I'm probably going to go Xena Warrior Princess on this one. So I think that's the route that I was going to go on.
Okay, all right, good call. I'll give you that one. But let me introduce you to the ultimate female warrior, Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, yeah.
Right, from Game of Thrones, okay?
Yep.
She's strong-willed, she's tough, she's a skilled fighter, she's laser-focused on her objective, right? Whether it's guarding her principal, right, i.e. a very important person, right? Or, her mission itself, right? I want revenge, I want to accomplish this. It's always laser-focused and nothing's going to stop her, right? Though, there are times where she can get into her head and just kind of like Lae'zel does,
Okay, I can totally see that. And you know what? I love Brie. I love her. I don't even know why I didn't think of her, I'll be honest, but I guess it's because there's been too much time and space. Well, though Xena Warrior Princess has been more time and space. That being said, that prompts me, okay. Because Brie is closer to today than Xena is, I'm gonna give you this one. Just because Game of Thrones was only a few years ago compared to Xena being almost a millennia now, I'm gonna give you this one then. All right, you won.
I'll take pop culture for the win.
Yep, Brie it is. So number 4, Ketheric Thorm. To me, probably the ultimate villain out of the entire story so far. I don't know. Raphael's pretty shade as well, but Ketheric Thorm, to me, he's manipulative. He only thinks of himself. He puts himself above all others. He thinks he's better than everyone else. He is egotistical, maniacal, complete sociopath here. And I think also with this mentality of the end justifies the means. So based on that, what would you say Ketheric Thorm reminds you of?
You got a good point there. So, for me, there's a couple of characters that he reminds me of. This one's going to be a recurring one. So, the first comes to mind, Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders. Right? He's ruthless. Cutthroat and ruthless. You got to give him that. So, definitely reminds me of Tommy in that respect. But more so, we're going to return to Game of Thrones here, and Cersei Lannister. She has the same ruthlessness, cutthroat. She doesn't care who she hurts, who she steps on to get her way. She also has that lust for power, right? Yeah, she doesn't care how she gets there. It's just that I have it. And once I'm in charge, or once I have the power, nobody else is going to get it, and everybody's going to be below me and is there to serve me. So that's what I think. I think Cersei Lannister edges out Tommy on this one, so I'm going with Cersei.
Honestly, both are really freaking good. They're both amazing choices. I didn't even think Cersei. I don't know why I didn't even think Cersei, but I'm really blanking on Game of Thrones lately. I don't know what it is. But yeah, Cersei she's one maniacal bitch. I mean, a woman who would take out her own kids, her own family, for her own, quest. Yeah, sounds pretty Ketheric to me. But I'm going to introduce you to the OG of being for himself, Darth Vader.
Ooh.
Darth Vader, we know, it started out as a love story, very similar to Ketheric Thorm. He's doing this for his daughter, his vengeance for his daughter. He turns to the dark side to try to take care of his beloved Padme. So really the starter story comes there. But then also the end, the way that it ends up being, he ends up being, the universe's ultimate villain.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. You got me there. he's ruthless. He's focused as well on his objectives, whatever he's going after. But yeah, the icing on the cake, or what put it over the top, is the backstory. Yeah, it's a tragic backstory, and yeah, I'll give it to you. Vader's got that one.
Yeah, Cersei comes from privilege. She is just a power-hungry, greedy person. Whereas Darth Vader just has the ultimate sad story that turns him into a villain. Kind of like Ketheric Thorm. So, yeah. I win. Chick, chick.
Okay, so now we move on to Karlach. All right. She's fierce. She's passionate, but she's also compassionate.
Yes.
All right. She's very deep. She loves her friends and will do anything for them. She's always ready for a fight, and she's quite feisty, but she will always have your back when the time comes. So, who did you pick as Karlach?
All right, first I'm going to say, anyone who chopped off her head earlier on, shame on you! Shame on you! She's like the ultimate companion. She's like your ultimate bestie. Just wants to go to the pub, have some ales, pound some ales with you, and like give you the I love you, man. I love you, man. And you cut off her head? Come on! What are you doing? Anyway, sorry. I digressed on that one. I watched a video today that totally triggered me, and that's why it's top of mind. I'm just thinking about it. But anyway, if I come down to it, if I look at Karlach, she is a extremely strong, independent, fierce, protects her tribe no matter what. I'm sure she would be amazing to pound ales with. And yeah, if I think of that, I'm going to go with the other pagan choice that I know of, Lae'zel from Vikings. Lae'zel is fierce. She protects her people. Her people are above her. She loves the people around her. I mean, she probably could pound back the ales no matter what either, but also then like give you a big Viking axe in the head, but then give somebody a hug at the next moment. Just kind of exactly like Karlach. So now I'm wondering, can you beat me on this one?
Okay, all right. Good point. But I'll do you one better. I'll give you Drax, the Destroyer, from Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, I think they both resemble, they both embody the same characteristics, right? They're both loud, brash, loves to have fun. Drax takes everything literally, but he does things in the most blunt way possible, which is like Karlach does as well.
Totally.
So, and you know what? Drax always has their backs. He's always about his companions, and put him in a fight, look out. My money's on Drax.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I could totally see that, especially the humor, because you know when you do a cut scene to Karlach or you're walking as a group, she has the funniest things that she says, and again, that just big boisterous personality. The fact that they're both next to naked most of the time as well. Yeah, I think I'm going with you on that one, Drax. Drax might win this just because of the sheer body type and I guess the persona too. So he is the ultimate I love you man kind of guy too. Also a little bit of tragic backstory like Karlach, if I think of it that way too. So yeah, okay, you win that one. Orin the Red, completely just one word for her, sadistic, right? That's all you can say. And if I look at her, she's just in it for the kill, in it for the fun of the kill, in it to completely annihilate people and doing it for ultimate power. So who did you have for this one? Because this one was a hard one for me, I'll be honest. So who did you have for this one?
For me, there's a bit of a toss-up here. I've got Villanelle from Killing Eve, Hisoka from Hunter X,
Okay.
or the Joker
Oh.
from the DC Batman universe there. Thing is, they all have in common, they're all about achieving their villainous goals, but they all just love seeing and revel seeing people being hurt or in misery.
Yeah, that's true. Those are good choices, but I'm gonna choose one that's also from a little bit of the DC/Marvel comic book world. I have Harley Quinn, the obvious one, a little bit psycho, just like Orin. You know, she loves to toy and play with things, but then you also have Mystique. So Mystique is the ultimate shapeshifter, just like Orin is. And yes, Mystique has times where she's empathetic to the cause, you know, and her compassion for, you know, the other mutants and that type of thing, specifically Professor X. But in the end, I'm going to go with Harley Quinn, just because the way that she really likes to toy with things. And because I'm choosing one, I'm going to win this one.
Oh.
I got you by the fact you chose 3, I chose down to 1. So I win.
Oh. Okay, so next we move on to Gale. Gale's a wizard. He's insightful. He's curious. He's a scholar at heart. Loves to learn. Has an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. But in his pursuit for knowledge, he can be a wee bit reckless. And sometimes things don't turn out the way he intended to. Mm-hmm. You can also tell by his story path that his past choices, some have not gone the way he's wanted them to, and they weigh heavily on his heart. Mm-hmm. So who did you pick for Gale?
For this one, this was another obvious one. If you haven't guessed right now, I'm an analytic, and I usually go for the most obvious type of thing if I can. And to me, that's Snape from Harry Potter. Snape, if we look for magic, he's magical. Gale is magical. Things don't necessarily go the right way for Snape all the time. He has to be a little bit sneaky there because he's, playing both sides. He is way more powerful than he gives up that he is. And in the end, he is righteous and good and kind of doesn't get all of the credit where credit's due for his magical abilities. So that's why I went with Snape.
But for me, I'm going with Captain Jack Sparrow. Yes, he's not magical. I'll get that right off the bat there. Okay, he doesn't have the magical side to him. But listen, right? He's insightful, he's curious, and he's always on the search for knowledge or treasure. Mm-hmm. Usually that knowledge leads to treasure, mm-hmm. but he's still on that search for knowledge.
But he's not eating the treasure, just saying.
Well, I was going to get to that point there. If he found some magical items, maybe he'd have an insatiable appetite for magical items.
Yeah.
But that being said, I will give you it though that, as mentioned, the character Gale, to me, he represents a lot of Captain Jack Sparrow in the way his mannerisms, his interactions. But Jack Sparrow is linear in the fact that he doesn't have the magical side. So I'll give it to you that it's not Jack Sparrow.
All right. You know what? Honestly, if there was a hybrid of Snape and Jack Sparrow, I think that 100% would be Gale. If they were able to have a magical baby somehow, then yeah, they would absolutely have the perfect Gale right there, I think. Because I'm going to give it to you. That was almost me saying that you won that one. But I think magic has to be, because it is such a big part of his persona and who he is.
Yeah, he's a wizard, so yeah, I'll give it to you.
All right, sure. Perfect. Thank you. I want to get it. Okay, so Minthara. She's a bad guy. Or is she? She's a bad guy. And she is the ultimate cult leader. She is able to, get the tribe on her side, get people going and doing things for her that, she doesn't necessarily want to completely all do before herself. I mean, she'll do it, but if she has people, if she has people fodder, why not use the people fodder, right? So to me, she's powerful, strong, but also tends to just really be stuck in her way and can't see the way out of those ways, right? So with this, I went with Jax Teller, okay? I also went back and forth with Jax and Gemma, because Gemma very much is it's all about her people, her mission, all of that. But really, at the end of the day, the person who pulls the strings, who checks the boxes, that's Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy, if you're not aware. That's who I went with. Now, I'm curious as to who you went with.
Okay, you've got some good points there. Mm-hmm. But for me, again, Tommy Shelby comes to mind. Mm-hmm. Right? He's ruthless, he's cutthroat, he's focused on what he wants, and he doesn't care how he gets there. Mm-hmm. He'll use others to get there, and he doesn't care who dies or what happens to them. If they end up in jail, whatever, as long as they get him to his goal of money and power, and that's so Minthara. All she wants is power to rule over the others, and she doesn't care how she gets there, and she'll kill anybody who disagrees with her.
All right, okay. As much as I hate to admit this, I'm gonna give this one to you. Tommy Shelby for the win. No.
Okay, and now we arrive at Shadowheart.
Oh, everyone, the internet's favorite heartthrob. Ooh.
So, she's mysterious, she's complex, slow to trust, but once she lets you in, she's fiercely loyal, right? Will always support her companions within the party and her friends. But she also has a part of the mysterious is her background, right? Little is known, and she struggles with her faith with Shar, and that brings it all to her being clouded in mystery. So what did you think of Shadowheart?
Well, Shadowheart, to be honest, is really boring to play. I know that's controversial. Some people are going to send the hate out right now, but I will say that Shadowheart is probably my least favorite characters to play, though I know she's one of your favorite players to play as a support carrier, as a support to your character. So, I don't know. I also find she's a little bit of a bitch. So, let's call it what it is. She is a little bit of a stuck up, pretentious bitch that only really is very about her. That being said, I also get that her past brings her to where she is. So I don't know. Who did I choose then? So it was the part that you mentioned about really not understanding her past, not understanding her backstory, not knowing where she came from, who she's with. That's where it really, for me, came to and why I went with my choice. And going back to the Star Wars world, that would be Rey. That would be Rey because of the fact that she doesn't have a past or doesn't know her past. She really doesn't come into her powers until she's kind of evolves and grows. Very similar to Shadowheart. She kind of evolves along the way. And she's very, I guess you could say, introverted almost. Rey is introverted. Shadowheart, I believe, holds her cards close to her chest. I truly think that Rey may be just completely not knowing her past really, really well, and that's what makes her kind of more reclusive. So, and the fact that they're both strong, magical, kind of spiritual beings, I guess you could say. Shadowheart gets it from the Shar, Rey gets it from the Force. So that's why I went with Rey. So who's your choice?
Okay, those are some good points there, for sure. But for me, Shadowheart, she's a cleric. She's got a reserved past, and which, like you said, she's very guarded with who she lets in and what she lets people know. But in the end, she wants to do good, even if she's not 100% sure on all of her past, etc., or even the direction she's going in. Overall, though, she wants to do good. So for me, I would say I'd have to pick Athelstan from Vikings.
Oh, that's a good choice. That's a really good choice. Yeah, I could see Athelstan because of the fact that, he was someone of faith, very much like Shadowheart was at the beginning. That's who she was brought up to be. And I could see the fact that, in your case, a companion of Ragnar. He's a companion of Ragnar, whereas Shadowheart is kind of your companion in this storyline. I could see that. I can also see that, she's a cleric, religious, that type of thing. I get it. But I really do think I should win this one because of the fact that they just both have that element of magic that Rey has with the Force. So I don't know. I think I'm going to win this one.
Yeah, I'll give you that one there. Yeah. You've got more similarities than what I've got.
Though I don't know. Athelstan would have been close. It's a good guess. And, I do like the fact that also the comparative of where he was hyper religious at the beginning and then evolved into kind of a warrior, very similar to Shadowheart. So you know what? I'm going to give us a tie on this one. I'm sorry. I as much as I started talking myself into giving you a point here, I defeated the purpose of the contest, but I think it could go both ways here. So.
What do you think? Put it in the comments below.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good call. Yeah, look at you being the YouTube noob and being able to add that in here. So, all right, yeah. So you heard it. Put it in your comments. What do you think? And now, last but not least, Wyll. And I truly feel that Wyll doesn't get his kind of just desserts a lot of times. I think he got a bum rap for trying to be and do the good and right thing to his own demise. But anyway, we're here. He's a patriot. He's a true debonair. He's rich and elite who has given up all of that to do for the people. he is suave and he is a little, how would I say? He's a little stubborn in the way that he thinks too, that he thinks his way is the right way, but again, he's trying to do it in the righteous way. Wyll is the righteous way to do things. So what are your thoughts? Who did you think that he would remind you of?
Yeah, okay. I'll give you those points for sure, and I agree with a lot of the points that you put there. So for me, it's going to be Aragorn from the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Good choice.
There, he represents a lot of the same as Wyll. So he comes from a noble bloodline that he's forsworn and given it all up so he can cross the land and fight evil in the name of good. He's also shunning what was perceived as his destiny to become the king. Same with Wyll. He's next in line to be the Duke of Ravensguard, but he's foregone all that so he can follow his calling as the Blade of Frontiers.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely those similarities there. There's also the fact that they're both well versed in knowledge within the lands of Faerun,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of the local policies, bureaucracies, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. They're both also very highly skilled swordsmen, rangers, weapons masters, light weapons masters. Both of them don't wear a whole lot of armor either, if we look at it comparatively. Yeah, I could give that, and I feel bad now saying what I'm going to say because I went with Kylo Ren here. I guess it's a Star Wars day. But Kylo Ren for me was the fact that, he does have this background. He was supposed to be kind of righteous, rich blood coming from Leia. Supposed to have this path that he was supposed to kind of go by. And then, took the dark side, made the pivot to the dark side because of the fact that, he strayed from his path. But if I come down to it, I'm going to say that you absolutely annihilated me with that choice. Aragorn is 100% a significantly better choice than Kylo Ren. Yes, spoiler alert, Kylo Ren does eventually go back to the light side of things, just like Wyll does. But, Aragorn is 100% comparable. You win this one.
So we covered a lot of characters today, and there's definitely a lot more that we still need to cover. So this could turn into a series.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you missed any of your favorite characters. Feel free to comment below if there's a character you'd like us to compare to. Also comment to see if you agree with what we said. Do you agree with our scoring? We'd like to know. And hey, if we spawn a internet fight, fight. Go ahead. It's not going to be Warhammer comments kind of fighting, but...
no, we'll keep it lighthearted.
Yes. So, until next time, we are off to go and pillage
another village.
So, see you soon. And YouTube is letting you know right now a video that might interest you, or perhaps one of ours if you haven't seen it. And we will see you in the next one.
To me, hands down, Ethel is Hannibal Lecter.
All right. Oh. The camera went. I'm thirsty. Hey, you guys.
Okay.
Are we still eating? Why? Why do you have to eat like 8,000 times this morning?
Because I want to be on TV. It's like that kid, when you want to be waving in the background.
Yeah. Waiting patiently for the cat to stop eating.
Where's Volo? You can play us a song there. Ban Jovi. Yeah, while I get my eye taken out.